Good evening, folks. Good afternoon. Good morning. My name is Open Mike Eagle, and this is Secret Skin. I'm a rap artist, and this is a podcast where I interview creatives, mostly in the indie rap world, because that's where I live. It would be difficult for me to interview people that weren't where I live. When I say it like that, it sounds like I only interview people in my house, which is not true. I've only recently even begun interviewing people in my house. I've interviewed people in moving automobiles, crowded restaurants, and the backs of discotheques. Where's my award? I greet you with somewhat of a heavy heart today. Just yesterday, it was announced that rapper Sean Price had passed away. And I realize a lot of people who listen to this podcast aren't dialed into the underground indie rap world. But this guy was like a legend in our business, in our industry. He was part of a group called Helter Skelter in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's part of this collective called the Boot Camp Clique, which contained groups like Black Moon and Smith & Wesson. And Helter Skelter's, their first album called Nocturnal was a very important album in my hip-hop journey. It was something I connected to. And the interesting thing, I mean, not the interesting thing, but one of the things that made Sean Price stand out in the crowd was that after their run was over as Helter Skelter, where they put out a few albums and their popularity kind of peaked, he found a lot of success, like a whole new life as a solo artist. He was still with the group, he's still with the Boot Camp Clique, he still rocked with Helter Skelter, but as Sean Price, he started releasing music, I believe, in 2004. That was just, it was mind-blowing. It was brand new energy, and it's tough to talk about for people who don't necessarily value rap the way that I do, because if you just randomly put on a Sean Price song, you're not necessarily going to be like, well, shit, this is genius, I don't know who talks like that, but nobody would if they weren't familiar with rap. But he had a kind of genius in that he was completely fearless on the mic. Starting when his solo career really started, he would say absolutely anything, whatever thoughts he had on his mind. He would write this stream of consciousness verses where he would say things about his career situation, his management. He would say things about why he just wrote the last bar before that one. It was just real emotionally and mentally present stuff. And I'm not sure if that was overtly ever a decision that he made, but it was a powerful one. And I think he influenced a lot of people who came behind him. And he was only 43 years old, died in his sleep. I didn't know him personally. He's the kind of person who I imagine at some point he probably would have ended up on this show, though. My buddy Dumbfounded has a web series that Sean Price has appeared on. Shout out to Dumbfounded. But not knowing him personally, I don't really know what his life was like. I could imagine he probably lived kind of a hard life. But it's always tough when you think about the fact that your heroes, people you look up to in your art form, can pass away at 43 years old. It's like professional wrestler type lifespans, So rest in peace to Sean Price. Shout out the whole Boot Camp Clique. On this episode of Secret Skin, we have an interview with VerBS, Verbs of the swim team, Hellfire Club. I've got a bunch of affiliations with him. He's a good friend of mine. He actually lives down the street from here. So doing this interview was cool. He just like got up one day and hopped on his bike and rolled over. And me and him and his bike had a conversation. But interestingly enough, the night before this conversation took place, I went with my trusty recorder to his event that he does called Bananas. It's a rap show that he curates monthly. I've been a part of it. No Can Do's been a part of it. Bus Driver, Milo. It's an extension of the Project Blow, and the Project Blow being a long-running open mic rap workshop that I know most of the people who I know in LA from having spent time at this place and becoming part of this Project Blow family. Project Blow, as a regular event, went on every Thursday for about 15 years. And Bananas is in the same building. It's in the same room where that took place. And in a lot of ways, the energy that's present on a Bananas night is reminiscent of what it would be like to be at the Project Blow. Like a lot of people rapping on the street. Like that was a big Blow trait. The Blow characteristic would be people rapping in circles and ciphers, and that kind of being a way of life. So the new generation's a little different in terms of how the music sounds that they're making, and I think the new generation's a little bit more fashionable, fashion conscious, kind of living out a different experience, space and time wise, than I did when I was their age. But it's interesting to go there once a month. I think it's the third Tuesday of every month, and experience that energy. It was an interesting night when I went too, because Kendrick Lamar, the famous rapper, having become very popular over the last 2 or 3 years, 4 years or so, he just randomly showed up at Bananas, not to play or perform or anything, but just to show up and kind of peep it out and check it out. And he came in very quietly, but it caused quite a stir at some point. But I just happened to be there. I don't go every time, but I happened to have the idea the day of that Bananas that I wanted to go and get some interviews and have people talk about Bananas. One of the people that I talked to was Flaco Siete. He's one of the he's like from my peer group at Project Blow, so he's one of the first people who I clicked with and started making music with when I moved to LA. And I got a clip of him talking a little bit about us meeting at Project Blow when I first got there. And here's a bit from Flaco Siete.
I was on your first mixtape. You, me, Dumbfounded, No Can Do.
Yeah, that's my joint, man. That's my joint. But yeah, we recorded that around the corner from here.
Yeah, that's
at the
when
old Blow studio.
But you know what? A true story on that was like when y'all came. Remember, because people used to come in and out of there.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna say no names, but somebody that used to be in this, it used to be AC Alone Studio, but somebody used to be in there, used to be hot dog in the studio with some other such shit.
I remember.
So like when they would get away, I would try to get some songs in. And I remember that time, everyone y'all just kept coming in. It was a Thursday, and I'm like, bro, just hop on this, hop on this. And we did that shit like less than an hour.
I realized it'd be really great if I had that song to play right now, but I don't. I believe even the version that I put on the mixtape itself was from a scratch CD. So like everybody who has a copy of the Premeditated Folly mixtape that had that song on it called Four Horsemen, there's little skip noises in it. And they try to pretend like, oh, that was just your CD. No, that was all of them. That's a bad idea I had. Anyway, but that was Flaco. That night I walked around Bananas interviewing a lot of people. I got a bunch of bits with people talking about Bananas. This was a real good bit that I got talking to Noah James, who's a well-known rapper from out here. He's situated in the Inland Empire, which is about an hour east of LA, but he's been out here rapping with us, at the Blow on the west side forever, and built his own thing up in the IE. And here, me and him are talking about kind of like the importance having places like the Blowed and Bananas rap-wise in Southern California?
We had foundations, but that left. We had building blocks, and I was a part of that. But I look at even Bananas and Ganja Kate telling me stories
about Project Blowed, IE too. Yeah.
So it's kind of like he came out when he was doing that. I was his right-hand man at Project Blowed IE on Wednesdays.
Word.
So he gave me the history and the feelings of stories of Tumex and Pigeon John. Word. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, them being young, fresh-faced rappers on the street hanging out.
Sick Jack and getting, please pass the mic and coming back, killing it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I want that for our community. Because where we're from, we don't have a lot of culture, but we have a lot of cultured people.
Right.
Because the inland is big. Inland is shit.
But you know what, Southern California, what I've learned is it's all very location-centric, man. Like, when the Blow was cracking, like, there was the lifeblood of the entire hip-hop scene in L.A. And now, like, it's kind of morphed into being the Bananas is the thing.
Yeah.
So it's a different vibe, but it's kind of like the same beast. You know what I mean?
Same vibe.
And it's about having a place for everybody to get together and do the thing.
And all different type of people, all different type of music. It's not just this one genre or this one color, this one thing. It's like everyone come here.
Because this is how, like, we as a people figure out where the sound goes next. You know what I mean? Like, you get different genres together in a spot, everybody vibe off everybody else's vibes. Yes. You soak it up and people push forward. Are you playing here tonight?
Yeah, I'm playing tonight.
Okay, what time are you on?
I think like 12, 15, 12:30.
Okay. You never know around here.
Not with Young Verse, man, the young vagabond, the young vagabond Don.
How many times have you played Bananas?
I played at least 2-3 times a year.
I hear you.
For the last 6 years.
There you go. There you go. You might be the title holder, man.
Like all the time, man. It doesn't matter. Like I remember I came off the MERS tour in the first show. I said, I'm gonna do Common Ground. Now I'm gonna do Bananas.
There
like this is my second home, bro. This is everything, man. This is everything to me.
Yeah, that was Noah James talking about the importance of community and what Bananas has meant to him. I also talked to Ashley Dominique, who's a female rapper out of Long Beach, but has roots in the Blowed and continued roots in Bananas as well. And here's her talking about some of the differences and similarities in Bananas and Blowed, and she begins it by answering the question I asked her is what Bananas means to her.
Bananas means to me like the creating is still going on in Leimert. I mean, I wish Project Blowed was still going, but there's so much animosity going against like all of the big heads, and you know, I wish they could just come in and show some of these younger cats really how they should be serving the mic, because Bananas has that new youthful feeling of hunger for the artists and creating. And I'm just happy somebody's carrying it on. I'm glad VerBS is carrying it on and like keeping Leimert alive and relevant, because LA Weekly has done, not even LA Weekly, as well as Los Angeles Times has done write-ups on Bananas as well. So I know what Kyle's doing here is it's important for the community as well as important for the artists.
And so kids end up coming to stuff like this and connected with communities this way. What do you think it does for them?
Oh man, it gives them a whole new light. They open up their eyes to see, like, for one, just to see people of color, of all color, coming together and not tripping on each other. And then two, people of color that have drive, determination, other creative style like you, and a whole different outlook on life than you do. So hopefully it exposes them to something that will expand their minds. And
I think it does do that. It does expand the minds of the youth that are coming there now. They're getting exposed to different styles and different ways of doing things. It was the same thing for me when I came to the Blow for the first time. I was coming from Chicago, and I knew some of the artists through music that they had released. So artists like AC Alone and Abstract Rude, whose music had come out on major labels, and it had made its way to me in Chicago. And I heard them talk about the Project Blowed. So when I got to LA, even when I was just visiting in high school, I would just go to the Blowed, and I was amazed at just how far those guys were pushing rap styles then. I was from Chicago, and the value system of rapping in Chicago was very much based around a punchline. And being humorous. And a lot of that, of course, still exists in my style to this day. But out here in Los Angeles, especially at the Project Blow, there was a real emphasis on trying to rap in the most original styles possible. So that meant being very adventurous with cadences and patterns. So it was a lot more about how the rap sounded and trying to be innovative with it than having the most fiery content in a given verse or a given freestyle. And I think that's what's happening today too, because there's not a lot of real innovation happening on the mainstream level. So when kids come to Bananas, they see some of us old heads around there now doing things. I think they get inspired and they get shown that you can still do things differently and push the culture forward. And then I talked to the man himself, VerBS. I had him over at my place the next day, and we sat down on my couch and we talked about Bananas and Blowed and him and his career. He's a fascinating guy. He lives his life in a very in-the-moment fashion. And I can't ever be surprised if I see him anywhere in the city of Los Angeles. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. He's a real positive force in LA, and has really been instrumental in keeping things connected out here hip-hop wise. And here it is. This is my conversation with VerBS, LA's own. And this is Secret Skin. Right. It was funny, okay, because so Kendrick Lamar was there last night, right?
Yeah.
And when Kendrick came out and started taking pictures with everybody, Yoni didn't really know what was up for. He was like, Yoni's like, why is everybody taking pictures? And I pointed, I'm like, it's Kendrick Lamar over there. He's like, oh, for real? Man, I just want to get him in the cypher. You know what I mean?
He was like, I'm going to drop like 500 on him. He kept saying like 500. Yeah.
I give him 100 right now. I got 500 on deck. I just give him 100. 100.
He was so for real
he
about
was.
it.
Like, he was saying it in earshot. Like, I'm like, damn, is this, you know what I mean? Is something bad about to happen right now?
Man.
It was nutty though, but that was that's crazy, man.
Yeah, like it just happened. Like one dude was like, "Yo, Kendrick Lamar's here. Oh man, I'm going on X, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, dog, chill out. Like, yeah, you are. It's cool." So I get in there and I see him. The homie's like, "Yo, this is K Dot," and I was like, "Oh, what's up, man, VerBS?" I was like, "Yo, I met you through Mervs." He was like, "Yeah, I remember your face," and I was like, "Yeah, thanks for coming out, man. Check it out."
Yeah.
And that was like all I talked to him. I didn't want to like, you know.
Yeah, no, for
so
sure.
I started whispering. I went to FaZe. I was like, "Hey, FaZe, Kendrick Lamar." I was like, "Hey, Ray, it's Kendrick Lamar." And so then, like, you know, I was doing it to the select homies, and then I just wanted to see, like,
see the reaction. Yeah. Everybody see, yeah.
Then he went up to Henry Canyons at the end of his set and like got his number and stuff.
That's tight.
And then after that, I saw people really noticing it was going down.
I saw him walk in, and just since Bananas is on that corner, and we've been on that corner for, you know, years, I was like, I know that face, but I'm thinking that's just that one, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, like he looked like he could be like,
exactly.
like oh, it's the random homie. Like, yeah, like,
exactly. Because he just walked in so smooth. I'm like, oh wow, you know what I mean? It was kind of nutty, dude. It was a kind of nutty thing to have unfolded the spot. I mean, do y'all have? I mean, you've been doing this for how long? How long you been doing Bananas?
6, almost 7 years. I don't even know when we really started.
For real.
I know you were on one of like the first.
One of like one of like.
It might have been the first or second.
I don't think it was the first one. It was like I think it was like the second or the third one.
Yeah, like mad long ago.
And I was sitting in that room last night and just thinking about, man, how many times I've been in there for how many different kinds of things, like being there for the Blowed, being there for like little conferences and community meetings. I've been in there doing yoga when I first moved to LA.
Dang,
you know what I mean?
So he was like, that's fine.
That room, you know what I mean? Like I've had so many different types of experiences there. You know what I mean? Like I met the night I met my wife. It was at this conference.
It was there?
No, it was at this conference. We met at the conference, but then the after party to the conference was at Chaos.
Oh shit!
So we got to know each other in that room. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Like, yeah, it's
damn. Then that on top of like just your rap relationships.
Exactly.
Damn.
I mean, you making money off Bananas now?
Barely. Like,
that's tight.
Yeah, I mean, like I give money. All the money goes to like people.
That's what I would imagine. There's so many acts. Like, you know what I mean? I'm imagining someone.
I only pay fools when they ask me for gas money. At this point, I'm like, I'm trying to maximize where this shit's going.
Right. How do you book people for Bananas?
Man, I just gotta keep my ear to the internet.
Okay.
And then like, you know, just going out in LA too, I meet a bunch of fools, and I get hella emails from the Bananas email or the Facebook group or Twitter or DM. People was like, yo, open slots. Yo, open slot, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
I was wondering how I can get booked. And then, yeah. So.
And then, like, I mean, how do you prepare them? Because it's a different kind of show than any other show. Like, do you talk to them about how it is?
Nah, I kind of just be like, yeah, just come through.
Or
what time I go on? I'm like, what time you want to go on? Like, that's like, yeah. And then it's like, the day of, I just kind of like, all right, I just write out the times, like, all right, 10:15, 10:30.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, you down for this? And then, like, I do it. And, yeah, I know if I could probably maximize it if I, like, got organized, but I just, like, I don't know, man.
I don't know. Organize it how? Because I don't even understand what that would be like. You know what I mean?
Just, I guess, like, getting the schedule and the flyer done, like, 2 weeks in advance.
Oh, okay.
That
I see
type
what you
of
mean.
organized.
But even if you don't, it's still
I just
popping.
throw it together.
And honestly, like, I mean, I know you wouldn't want like double the people around there. You know what I mean? That'd be crazy. Like, it would get out of control. It's already like a crowd.
I already don't like I book so many people.
Yeah.
I keep trying to cut it down, but then it's always like a homie from back in the day, like, hey, yo, can I get on this month? Hey, yo. And I'm like, fuck. Then I be forgetting people sometimes. I'm like, fuck. So then, like, yeah. Most of the bill be like people I've been supposed to put on for like months,
right? And
it's they turn. So it's like it's been like that for a while, and I kind of wish I had more like curative freedom, because back in the day, it was really me putting together like a boutique experience.
Right.
But now it's just like, oh yeah, I got you this month. Oh yeah. So it strays away from what I want to do, but it still turns out tight. So
what how long do you see yourself wanting to do that?
You know what? Only like another year or so.
Really?
Yeah.
So we're looking at the last the last days of it?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I'm ready to I'm either going to stop it or just like pass it to K Solar or something. Or I just want somebody to, because I feel like if I stop it, no one's going to do it.
What do you feel like? Because when I'm at Bananas, like I was at Bananas last night, like I get that real sensation of like, man, it feels enough like the Blow, where like it just feels like natural, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like just, and it's different. It's very different, you know what I mean? But it's still, it's like it's got a lot of the same feeling, you know what I mean, in terms of the energy. Do you feel like it fits in to that lineage?
You know, I be hoping like people will look at it as an extension of the Blow.
Yeah.
But then I feel like some fools probably be like, oh, that's that weird trendy black people thing with the weird and the white friends. Like I feel like I get some of that energy from older kids too. But a lot of, people coming to me all the time like, hey man, good shit, you keeping this shit alive. Right. Blah 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 blah. So, you know, yeah, I'm from the Blow, so it's an extension of the Blow.
I really do feel like it is, because even for some old head to say that, it's like when the Blow was popping, it was young, weird black kids.
Yeah.
It was a little more of the time, you know what I mean? But it was still the weird kids at the time, and it was
true.
And it was popping. So and when stuff is popping in the hood, of course, white people is coming to check it out. You know what I mean? They didn't have that place filled up with all black people. Like I hope they're not selling you that lie. You know what I mean?
Just Crips, essays, backpackers. Just only 3 types of people in there,
and all peaceful all the time. You know what I mean?
I say 1 for my niggas in Gurley Johns. Say 2 for my niggas who heard the song. Play video games to the early morn and wake up and go to work with curls that's all nappy. Lit in them, yeah, pockets with no rent in them. I make songs for them niggas who better live above the rim. Working for a room in a house citizen dance. Facing eviction and the lights flicker now when you down. Feel you, understand you trying to get your life figured out. See you on the road to riches, clothes, and bitches. If that's what you think is success, you don't need it.
Happiness is only what you define. Trying to find yourself, it takes some time, homie. Stay diligent on your climb and keep on being you.
Who is VerBS? We're gonna get existential.
Okay, yeah, man. I'm a rapper. I'm a bike hero, ninja. I'm a promoter.
Yeah.
A curator. And yeah, I'm a professional hanger-outer. That's one of my, that's what I do, really.
You get paid to hang out?
Nah, kinda. Do drugs count?
I don't know. You tell me. You have to tell me, man. Tell me about Death LA.
Oh.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah, man.
Like I know
it's really
you,
funny.
I know Flacco, I know Alpha, and I know y'all rep it, but I don't really all the way know what it is.
Nobody knows.
Okay.
Okay, like so I'm like heavy in the bike culture out here, the bike community. Mm-hmm. So I was hanging out with my homie Troy Herrera, and he's a short dude. He rides a tall bike. He's from a crew called the Antelopes, and they make freak bikes. Okay. So Troy, he's like, I'm really good at making things, man, and I'm tired of my old friend group. I'm just gonna hang in downtown. I'm gonna call it Death LA. So it's me, Troy, and my homie Mikey Wally, and and Flacco. Yeah. And we're at my homie Mikey Wally's house. So Troy just started riding Death LA, and then Mikey started just came like, I'm chilling in Death LA. So then Flacco took what my two weird like hipster white homies said, and he started hashtagging it and like kind of like treating it like a quasi gang, like Death LA, Death on mine. And then we all started saying sus has been around, but we just kind of like repurposed the word and started saying like, man, it's sus. Like I'm about to just sus on in here, got me a little susser, like So
it's you can use it in any kind of way.
Yeah, it's like how Cash Money had Wody, or something. You know what I mean? So. In my mind, it's like a quasi Project Mayhem thing. Word. Of just, I don't even know, man. Nightlife, partying, anything. Just like, because everything comes into the hat. We're like 6,000 something posts deep on Instagram. Damn. And you could just like go and just see the timeline.
So it's like a hell of a brand now. Like, you know what I mean?
Like Flacco started making hoodies and he was selling them for like 40. And so it's like, yeah. It's tight. It's like it's just a brand, really.
It's a brand, it's a movement, it's something you're a part of, it's something that's incorporated into the things you do. We rock together in Hellfire Club, swim team, all of that. Like, is there something in you that you kind of like are feel compelled to like be in a community? You know what I mean? Like being in groups with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I just want to belong, man. So any chance I get to belong to something, I'm like, yeah, I'm down. Like I was a part of this collective called the FMOY, the family. They used to do bike rides and shows and shit. So like, yeah, I'm just like I'm like Wolverine. He's on like a million teams. Like, I'm on X-Force now. Now I'm with the Avengers. Now I'm over here with these niggas in space for some reason. Just everywhere. So,
do you ever feel like one thing needs to be like a main thing or something? Or you feel like...
Yeah, sure, but I don't know.
I feel you.
Yeah. I mean, verbs is the main thing. Right. Yeah, sometimes I do think I need to drop all this extra shit and just have like a strategical focus, but then I feel like I'll lose my oomph.
Where does the oomph come from?
I don't know, man. I don't like staying at home. Right. I don't like being by myself. Right. So I think that's why I like party all the time. Because like when I'm by myself, I get depressed and then I start to hate what I'm doing. But when I'm out with homies, it's like, oh shit, yeah.
Like you're just in the moment.
Camaraderie, friends, rapping, hanging out. Yeah, man.
But you feel like maybe that's costing you something in terms of your own personal.
Oh, growth? Yeah, for sure, man. Then when I get alone and I'm not out, I'm like, fuck my raps. What am I doing? Fuck. All I'm doing is worrying about putting on bananas. It's like I taken a backseat to help everybody else's career except mine. Damn. And that's how I feel sometimes. But I'm taking steps to get out of that.
I mean, it's interesting too, though, because that might be the case, but then like, so much of this business is relationships too. Yeah. And everybody knows you, dude. Like everybody, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the personal brand, I guess, is like hella strong in the streets. Exactly. But it's not hella. I mean, people are like, oh yeah, he kind of raps, but he's just a homie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, like come host our event. I'm like, all right. So I feel like I'm like mad skills are like Big Tigger.
Okay.
I feel like
you're the host.
I didn't make myself. What up, y'all? Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you want me to freestyle? It's nothing. Like, you know what I mean?
What a conundrum. It's race that we come from. Open up the knowledge, show me a vast wisdom. Fuck a color complex and a caste system. Effeminate the image, womanize the woman. We doing it for them. Perpetuating stereotypes and they are taking a portion, laughing, damn. Nigga, the rich stay rich and the poor get Jesus. Win, win, win.
Nigga, the rich stay rich and the poor get Jesus. Win, win, win.
You still study 5% stuff?
I read from the author Supreme Understanding a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, he had this book called How to Hustle and Win and How to Hustle and Win Part 2. So yeah, I'd be reading that. It's just funny and hilarious.
What is 5%? Like, do you see yourself as a 5%er?
Oh nah,
Okay.
not by any means. Too many white friends for that.
It's so real. It's so real that you say that, because when I was in college, two of my closest homies, one of them's name was Supreme Allah, and the other one was his name is King. You know what I mean? These are like my dudes, and dudes I rap with, dudes I hung with every day, and I started to peruse the lessons, and I thought a lot of it was really interesting. But when they broke down the math to me and they told me like number 6, you know what I mean? And I'm like, wait a minute, like they like, you know, and how it says like white people can't get past number 6. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's bogus.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, man, I'm all about this pro-black shit, but I ain't about anti-nobody.
Exactly.
Like, you know, I'm all about like,
Exactly.
oh yeah, manifest. I'm a god. Do whatever I want. Melanin, swag, whatever. But then like when it's like I don't know, like pork, I can understand why pork is whack. But then it's like white people just suck. I mean, you know, many times, yes, they suck. But I mean, like, not all of them.
But sometimes black people suck.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes.
yeah, dude, like, everybody can suck. But they fools are so hardcore on some like,
for real. Like,
nah.
you the devil. Like,
like you. But what did I do? Like, it doesn't matter. It's like,
so I mean, do you have a belief system?
man, you know, not really. I mean, I don't know, man. I like to just read shit that I read. Like, I don't believe in Jesus Christ. Like, I believe he existed, but I do not believe he's waiting to appear and, you know, shake my hand and stuff. You know, I believe the Christ came in many forms. Like, all these things we pray to, like, these are all, like, enlightened individuals who are here. And I believe like that's why I fuck with 5% and stuff, because I believe like you're the change you want to see. You are the God that you want to pray to, because it's all in your control at the end of the day, because we're in these bodies. So yeah, basically, I don't believe in Christmas. I don't believe in there's a lot of I mean, I've read the backstories of all these things, so I'm like, oh my God, this country sucks. These religions suck. Everything kind of sucks. You kind of just gotta exist in it and play the game, you know.
Where do you like, is there a place in the industry where you feel like that, you know what I mean, like a level where you feel like you should be, or you're trying to get to next, in terms of like, you know, VerBS and VerBS' music?
Man, I want to be like, you know, like boutique rapper guy. Like, yo, Fader, it's nothing. Filter, I'm chilling. Like, you know, like I'm somewhere in the XXL, like independent report, like, you know. Like I want to, you know, just have a real career, like, you know, tour, like go to Europe, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, just stuff like that. I mean, plus I want to do more with my drawings and stuff too, like, you know, because I know it's about branding and just having things with a logo on it to sell, basically.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of, I just want to just keep sharpening the sword and break out of this local bubble, because I feel like I'm like kind of trapped in like a local guy bubble.
Does it you feel like it's anything holding you back from like?
It's just me.
Yeah,
it's just me. Yeah. That's all it is, man. I mean, you know, I could say a lot of things are holding me back, but at the end of the day, I mean, I know what I have to do to get out of this, and you know, I feel like I'm just like, you know, I'm kind of just going through the motions and just like training to be the next level of me. You know what I mean?
What's the next level you like?
You know, have my own spot. Have like stuff on iTunes and Spotify.
Word. Like,
you know, doing paid features, like still doing bigger events. Like, you know, I still be down to do something in a Bananas type capacity, or even like hosting. Like if it was, I mean, yeah, I'd love to be the host guy if it was like paying hella money.
Are you working on anything right now?
Yeah, man. These dudes named Lollipop Records hollered at me to put out a tape. So like, you know, I have so much shit floating on people's computers. I'm just gonna try to just pull something together, get that out. But then after, that's just gonna be like a drop in the pond. And then I have all these collabs. I want to centralize, clean up my Bandcamp, and just make it like, you know, so it's not like, 18 things. Oh shit, what the hell? I want to, you know, put out like this is the B-side project. This is the little Lollipop one-off, and then have like the caress, like, boom, what's up?
All my chicks with the hips splitting thighs at the seams. You ain't thick, baby girl, just realize that you queen. All my niggas with no job and no self-esteem. Keep gripping your own pen, filling your own dreams, cause stakes is high. And filling me on seems unattainable when you ain't containing up no cream. Take steps, take breaths, told your goal and go fast. If we trying to hold the world, all the golden soul pass. Wanna learn how to rhyme, better learn how to add. Most
You,
you go to the lab.
Born and raised in LA.
Yeah, born and raised. I was born in Hollywood, and I moved to Culver City when I was 9 years old. It's like 8 years old, like 21 years ago.
What does Culver City mean to you?
Yeah, Ed Dog trip out, fool. That's
Really?
what it means to me.
That's so
It don't
crazy.
mean that to a lot of people.
It can't mean that to me. And I've lived here. I've
It
lived
can't
here.
mean that, yeah.
It'd be about 4 years, I think. Soon. I lived over here.
Cause you live in like the nice, like this is like the night. This is where like I used to go to this library over here. This is like nice Culver City.
How much of Culver City is not nice?
It's just the little section I live in.
Yeah, that little strip of Braddock
is not
over there.
really Culver City. Technically, it's L.A.
Oh, so they just left like a
it's
street out of the.
Yeah, I think it used to be Culver City. Culver City is the address in the mail.
Yeah.
But it's the weirdest loophole. Past that freeway is L.A.
Damn.
That's why I couldn't go to Culver High. But the gang over there that's been there since the 70s is called Culver City Boys, Culver City 13. So that's the Mexican hood.
Okay.
So that's why when I say Culver City is like, dog, because that's why I grew up with like hella Mexicans and hella like, there was hella minorities in those projects. It was like Cambodians. I didn't know what a Cambodian was. I was like, you guys are like my color. You guys are black. Nah, we're from Cambodia. Like, what's that? Like, I thought brown equals black. I didn't know.
Right.
Like, yeah.
I mean, and I remember that that time when you and Flacco like in front of your place.
Yeah, that's 2012. Yeah, he
Yeah.
got shot. The homie from Long Beach got shot. That shit was crazy, man.
I mean, that's like right in front of your crib.
Yeah.
I mean, did you ever see any more incidents because of that? Or
Lately, there's been a lot more. A old black dude died in the projects recently. And then, like, there's been a couple shootings, man.
And the Culver City project is pretty much just that strip, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like it's a big.
oh, is it? Okay.
It's a big projects, like. Yeah, I mean,
like
there's
that
a
park
bunch of
that's over there,
buildings.
is that in that too?
There's a park in the middle.
Okay.
There's a park in the middle of it, and there's a Boys and Girls Club.
Right.
And yeah.
Okay. I didn't really realize all of that was part of that same system.
Yeah, man. There's low-key a mural that Ben helped paint in there. Low-key, little sidebar. He was like, oh, yeah, I did a mural in there. I was like, you're just the best. He's the Dos Equis, man. Like, he does everything, dude. But, yeah, man, it's pretty crazy.
What does LA mean to you as a whole? Outside of just Culver City, what does LA mean to you?
It's a it's a big world filled with tiny worlds that are also big. Mm-hmm. It's like a Venn diagram. I look at it like a hella Venn diagrams because I feel like I'm like a person that traverses all these worlds,
right?
More so than maybe there's some other people I know who are kind of like scene hoppers, but I'm like a super traverser.
I'm about to say because if it's anybody that does it more than you, I need to meet him. I don't even.
I mean, like I feel like I'm a lot similar to like Subtitle because he kind of has led a life similar to me. And, other people have told me that, and then he was like, yeah, fool, you remind me of me, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, I can see that.
Krev.
So, yeah, Krev, dog,
life.
Krev life. Just like, yeah. Los Angeles, it's tight. I like it. Yeah.
Do you have a good swim team memory?
Man, my favorite one, I think we opened up for EPMD or some shit at the Crash Mansion.
No, that was Brand Nubian, right?
Yeah, same thing. But, yeah, and I think I don't know who was with me. It might have been out for a sat, but we went into their room and we like stole their alcohol.
That's so funny.
This like super young rapper thing.
That's,
like we gonna just get drunk, like
And that's so crazy how many of us. I mean, I never did that because I was a little older than all of y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I was a little too grown to be like doing like the super scroungy
about to
shit.
get me kicked out.
but I remember from them days, like us as a swim team, customer service, like that used to be the deal. Well, like we get booked for a show, and then they go find somebody else's alcohol, and take it and drink it. Like
not like we was getting paid,
right? So like the Troubadour, we'd be notorious at the Troubadour, all up in green rooms that don't
like
make
no
wristbands.
wristbands, like beer.
That's so crazy.
Man, I really like when we did the Pay Dues. That was like that was dope,
show,
man. I was feeling that one.
That was a crazy kid.
It was so hot. I had so many clothes on. It was the hottest. I was like, nah, hoodie, vest, like, furry socks, no reason.
I think I had on a very tight sleeveless shirt and my captain hat. My hair was all out of control. Yeah, it was.
That shit was great.
That was a crazy day. Do you still talk to Murs a lot?
I just texted him the other week because I saw his he had a billboard in Lamert on a bench, and I was like, oh shit, you in Lamert? And then just like some how you been type stuff. But I haven't had a conversation with him in a minute.
What was it like going on tour with him them couple times?
Man, it was tight, man. He just seemed like one of the looked like one of my homies, or like me, like hella old though. Just like he had a hella like life lessons, like take care of your teeth, verbs. Like
take care of your teeth.
Yeah, he was like, you're gonna like appreciate that. You can't be waking up drinking Red Bull and think in the morning and thinking that's cool. Like, and then he was like, you eating all this fried food, man. And I was a little heavier back then. And he grabbed my waist. He was like, you feel like a 40-year-old man, Verbs. You got to get it together, bro. And I was like, yeah, maybe, yeah, you're right.
Because he one of them dudes who like run a mile every day on tour.
Yeah, he's like a healthy dude, yeah. But then sometimes he'll smoke cigarettes. But then he's still vegan for life, though. He don't eat no meat.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, like, that was 2 national tours, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, what were like some of the highlights?
Man, just per diem. It was so great, like free money. The fuck? I wasn't used to shit like that. I was splurging. I was just buying all sorts of shit, eating pastrami sandwiches with a shake. Like just, I was like like when you came from nothing and you have a little, which is very little, to be hyped about an underground rap tour. That shows you perspective of what your life is. But that shit was great, man. I had sex with my first white girls on that tour. Oh, dude, bro. It was amazing. And he was like, and the first was clowning me. And he was like, oh, so now you know, right? Pink meat, huh? Okay. I remember. He was like, yeah, I remember my first white girl. He's like, Subtitle was there. I had to kick him out of the room. He kept trying, and I was like, joke.
Squad is Holly full of haters. Me and Flacco puff trees like Bob Marley and the Wailers. Thick white girls that must have came from Decatur. They got the ill vibes, they got the Bay Earth flavor. That's how I open up in these hot bars. I'm out of this world, nigga. Yeah, I'm something like I'm on Mark Clark. I started rapping off the walls of Crenshaw. Back in the day, I called that, the Merc Parkour. Picked up batons to blow, niggas ran mouths. Indie darling, party in my grand smile. On this marathon jog, I'm gonna stand out. Opportunities open up, it's a plus. You dope as fuck and you rhyme like corner. That new town.
Do you when you date typically, is it usually black girls that you end up dating?
Yeah, it's usually black girls, man. Like I don't know, I kind of like narrowed in. Like I got the eclectic black girl game on lock. Like they just come to me. I don't know. As I got older, it's like, oh, this is like the cool thing.
Because that's honestly what I was about to ask you. I mean, you being an eclectic person and the black eclectic population not being like super vast, you know what I mean? Like, did you ever have problems like trying
nah, man. I mean, Devin was kind of like she kind of turned me out to the weird black girls. Remember Devin?
She put you on,
yeah. Dating a weird black girl will put you on all sorts of white people shit too, and then like white people things, because it's like, it's kind of like dating a white girl that just has dreadlocks and it's not white at all. Right. Like, if that makes any sense to you.
Look, like, it makes a little sense to me. You know what I mean? Obviously, it makes
like,
a little.
Wait a minute, this is so tight. You know what I mean? What? You talk so educated.
Like we watch a lot of FX in my house. You know what I mean? Like we ain't, we're not really watching BET like that. We all, like,
I know all about Audrey Hepburn because of her. Like, all sorts of black white movies.
My wife's favorite television show is the damn Golden Girls, man.
Oh, that's
like
tight.
For like when it's like, when it's her. We take turns with TV. That's her go-to.
Like, you go in the back, you like making beats.
No, I mean, actually, it's one of the few things she put on that I like too, because it's funny. Like, there's a bunch of old, 4 white women cracking jokes. Like, it's tight. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I've dated all sorts of races, but for the most part, there's been black girls, but all sorts of, man. Like, there was a moment when I was only dating like bike rider girls.
Yeah,
that's a whole demographic that could be of various races. And
you ever see yourself settling down?
Yeah, I have a girlfriend right now, actually.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Her name is Loretta.
She wasn't here last night then,
She
yeah?
was. She
Oh,
was.
okay.
Her name is Loretta. She's so black. She's like, she goes to Bible study, which is the cutest thing ever. Like, what? People do that? Like, she hardcore goes to Bible study.
Like, you reading 5%.
And I didn't even get turned off. I was just like, that's cute. Like, all right, if I'm gonna do this black thing, I gotta go full in.
I mean, so she's not really on the eclectic tip?
Nah, she is though.
Okay.
She has ultra style and she listens to great hip hop. Like we'll be in a car, she'll be mouthing like Nas lyrics. She'll be knowing MF Doom stuff.
Oh,
like
tight.
she knows like good rap. And she put me on the Childish Gambino. I'm like, oh, I love this guy. I was hating on him just cause this nigga's amazing. He's like a bunch of rappers in one dude. He's like a perfect cell of niggas. Like, yeah, he has all sorts of styles.
Okay.
But she hates Drake, and I think that's tight. 'Cause I love Drake, so it's like,
I think
but
Drake's
she's
cool.
like, he's just so soft. I'm like, this nigga's a great songwriter.
Yeah.
I just don't like his voice. Like,
But she like Childish Gambino's
yeah,
voice.
and he's
That's
kind of a diet Drake, for lack of better, you know what I mean? You know, I mean, not taking away from the dude. He's
That's
a great guy.
funny. Oh, she prefers the diet version. You know what I mean? The NutraSweet. That's funny, man. Well, dude, that's a pretty good talk, man. You got anything you want to tell the people? I know you got. There's a couple things you always tell everybody.
Oh, drink water.
Exactly. Stay hydrated.
And arm, leg, arm, and not joking.
I'm about to say, damn, okay. You really went there.
Don't believe in mystery gods. Take it easy.
That's what's up. I mean, anything that they should look for you. Show them, the Bandcamp, all of that.
Yeah,
I mean,
verbs.bandcamp.com, thevagabonddon.tumblr.com if you want to take a trip down memory lane, if you want to dig on my archives. Verbs is the homie SoundCloud. Verbs is the homie music on Facebook. And Verbs is the homie Twitter. Verbs is the homie is Googleable.
There you go.
You could find me on Reddit. People like hate me on Reddit. I think that's kind of cool.
Why?
Man, I do mad hate on Reddit,
That
bro.
doesn't make any
Because I just
sense
got
at
onto
all.
the Reddit hype, and I was like, yo, let me like search me, and I was like, oh god. The one dude was like, oh yeah, I know Kyle. I hate his rap name, Verbs, but his songs are okay. And then other fool, it's all sorts of just random like subtle salt. It's not like I'm like, damn, tight. At least I'm on there. At least. Like,
The Reddit soft hate.
yeah, G-list rap, baby. Like on the G-list.
Oh my god.
Down there.
I mean, that's what and just to bring it all around, I think that's what tripped me out about last night more than anything. Because I'm like, I'm there, I'm interviewing people. I'm so aloof because I'm at home. Like, that corner is like home to me.
Yeah,
I feel like that's my zone. I don't fuck who's doing anything there. I feel welcome. You know what I mean? Let alone you doing that and it becoming successful as it has. And I feel like I'm there. I'm on my family. Everybody I'm seeing, it's like, yo, what up, what up, what up? And then it's like, Kendrick?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was
It's
like, oh shit.
It's like we all kind of FG list,
Like Jesus.
E list, and then
It's
wait
Jesus.
a minute, that's like the number
Christ
one.
has arrived.
You know what I mean? And it's one of those things because I had this moment where, because I'm sitting here, these mics in my hand, interviewing people. And I had this moment like, oh man, maybe I should try to see if I can interview him. And then I had, my next thought was,
What?
how much negative shit have I said about Kendrick?
Have you?
Not like,
But it's not like you're number one, like, yeah, nigga.
right. It's like, it's not like I've slandered. But when I really thought about it, I was like, damn, I have said some things about Kendrick, probably 2 or 3 tweets where where it was like, obviously in my mind, I never really thought I would meet this person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've done that, like the from afar hate because I'm like, doesn't affect me.
Right. and it tripped me out. Like, oh damn, that's right. We all right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it just put me in this mindset, like, man, I got to be way better about that. You know what I mean? Like, not really, because
the internet is not a shield.
it ain't. And
Yeah.
I'm judging people based on 2-3 levels of hype that, it's like, let's say it was you in that position, right? What I'm looking at ain't necessarily coming from you. You know what I mean? It's coming from your management and your publicist.
Yeah, because the real person is probably super like, what up? But
yeah,
like,
but then you know, and then it was so interesting to see him low key walk into a spot, be there, chill, walk out the spot. Cause and I thought about like in my head, I don't know, that dude. I see him how he gets put in videos or how he gets put. You know what I mean? On Saturday Night Live and black contacts and you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, this is some weird ego monster dude. Oh no, I'm falling for the hype. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
the public perception. You
know what I mean? And like, it really that had this really strong ding in the head last night. Like, oh yeah, let me not do that.
Man, I got a Kendrick story. Remember, I was on tour with Murs, and then like the last show of the tour was at the House of Blues, and it was like No Can Murs. I was supposed to open up. Last minute, I get taken off, and Murs had told me about Kendrick before. Like, yeah, you heard of this dude named Kendrick K. Dot? I was like, oh yeah. I got kicked off that show, and Kendrick opened up, and Black Hippie came out, and I was so salty. I was like, Kendrick Lamar? Who the fuck is this? This guy's a real name. But fuck this shit, man. And then it's crazy. Years later, I was like, damn, Murs is like one of the illest A&Rs. He'd be on the waves way before they crack. And then, that shit was crazy, man. And then I really started listening to music. I'm like, oh, this fool is tight, man. I was just hating because I couldn't open up on that show.
And that's that's the thing. I've noticed that about myself too. Like, I'll have one kind of negative experience. It may not even be direct, but it's like you feel like somebody gets something that you should have got or something like that, and it really does. It turns you off. Like, who did this person think they are? And it'll put that distance between you and really being able to look at what they do with some objectivity. And so I try to work on that too, because I mean, I used to write about music before I was ever really seriously.
Like OK Player board guy.
I mean, no. I used to review albums for this wrestling website that also had this music section. They used to send me. PR used to send me albums to review, and I'd be so negative sometimes. You know what I mean? And it's like, damn, I couldn't even imagine thinking the thoughts that I was thinking. Then now that I kind of understand the business way more, I understand like the weight of these words, like. This is somebody's livelihood, and it ain't always necessarily about like my personal taste. You know what I mean? It's about kind of understanding what somebody's trying to do, and it may not be for me, but like, it's just being negative, putting that shit out in the world. Just and it all kind of just wrapped up last night. Like, oh. Let me just never say anything bad about anybody. Like, you know what I mean?
The story is stop hating, guys.
Exactly. The only person I'm gonna still hate is LeBron James, and everybody else I'm be cool with from now on. That's my word to the people. I got one dude I'm gonna hate left, and that's it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was my interview with VerBS from my couch, about half a mile away from where he lives, in Culver City, sunny, shiny Culver City. Walk your dogs with impunity. It says that on a sign down the street. It does. I'll take a picture of it. I just took a picture of it. I didn't say I was going to show you the picture. Conversation got a little locker room at the end there with him talking about the races of the women he was having sex with on tour. Usually don't support that kind of talk. And not even sure putting it in there shows support for it in any kind of way. But I thought it was important leaving because I thought it set up the bit at the end. Where we're talking about races, and it got interesting enough for me to keep, I thought. Maybe you didn't think so. Maybe you care about it a lot and you want to write a letter to the editor. Well, don't. Actually, if you want, it's cool. Write me at all times at omebooking@gmail.com. I will open that email. I will click the thing that puts it in the secret skin box that I mine for ideas later, that I forget to credit people for. Sorry. Anyway, this is Secret Skin. Go rate me on iTunes or subscribe or something and rate and review. Click stars. Write nice things. Tell people about the show. If you're in LA, this Friday I am at the Echo Park Rising Festival. for $free all day for $0. We can get down there. The song I will leave you with is a Daedalus remix of my song Nightmares. I definitely put this out over the internet before, but you haven't heard it. I know you haven't. Look me in my eyes and tell me you heard it. Look. See? Couldn't do it. You're a bad liar. Anyway, I'm Open Mike Eagle. And my skin is a secret.
I went to bed at midnight, and then the clock said 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and close your eyelids, and then tell me what you see. Cause every word that comes through me, the word was born in a nightmare. I met some old friends recently. They on a whole new frequency. I made some new friends the other day, but they were talking about colorways. You can't rock clothes like Kanye. Can go home with frozen entree. Yeah. Give me food truck tacos. Every sour cream, no cilantro. Rappers all postmodern. I'm working style orphans with no father. I think the nigga of my lineage. It's been a lot of time defending. I think I would have made a great dancer. I used to be a great dancer, and I used to smoke a back a day, but I got scared of the face cancer. I pray to God like Esther Roll, that I be blessed with some breath control. I went to bed at midnight, and then the clock said 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and close your eyelids, and then tell me what you see. Cause every word that comes through me, the word was born in a nightmare. Yo, I'm one shag on my floor, chart parsley, and old guys singing 4-part harmony. Go to the valley, get a manager who specializes in porn star marketing. I wish every day was Halloween. I'd be fry live from the Aqua Team. Yo. Why? I don't know why. Maybe to make the time go by. Maybe I got bats in my belfry. But if it was that, who could tell me? You say the things that you overheard. I see the things that you don't observe. You're written like strictly synthesized. You trick the eyes like lower thirds. I see the future for city niggas. Game banging with samplers on MIDI triggers. A different future for rural folks. Cause that'll be where the tourists go. To take pictures of families with real life first cousins, sisters, and aunties.